Good morning, everybody. Terri Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, international trademarked artist and speaker, and Jim Henson, Muppeteer, among other things. If you're interested in knowing more about Terri Hardin, just simply put Terri Hardin in Google and stand back. There is a lot of information, and it's not me bragging. It's just me going. I sometimes the life is surprising for me. So, hello and welcome to today's Ask Me Anything, a time when you can, that's right, ask me anything. Let me just adjust a little bit here today. I was just on my Patreon. That's what's that you say? You guys are so good and so kind and so wonderful. All right, excellent. I will show you what I'm talking about. Patreon.com/Terri Hardin right here. And today we did a very special raffle drawing, and the raffle drawing was because I asked my tribe, and the tribe is where we get together, we support each other. If you're someone who's looking to trying to earn a living doing what you love and you're not quite sure how to do it, you have a question about anything, we have voiceover people in there, we have illustrators, we have cleaning queens, we have marketing geniuses, we have people who can write a decent resume, we just have amazing people in there of all walks of life in the tribe, and it's just $5 a month. $5 a month, the price of one Starbucks coffee, and you got a whole month with Terri's Tribe. That's right here. The most important thing I want you to know is your voice. It should be heard. Your voice needs to be heard. And everybody helps everybody. I'll show you a little example of what I'm talking about, and then we'll get to the question of the day, which is pass holders and annual passes. What's up, right? You all were asking me this, right? And what's up? So today they donated to Chalk, and their numbers are in here. And they donated to Children's Hospital of Orange County. My tribe did, and I did a special raffle of two very nice things that I had to give them as something to donate for, and then we pulled the numbers and they won, and it was cool. It was really cool. At the end, I am a Muppeteer. I do a lot of Muppet stuff, so a lot of people were sending me the Muppet Lego characters, and I built this right here. And Joe Mino, who is a patron, he is a Lego master. He's amazing, along with several other people. Naomi, there's Lego builders, Lego designers, artists, non-artists, people who are passionate about what they love, okay? So this is a marquee for your Muppets. And Joe, who is part of the tribe, sent me the instructions, and then he rewrote the instructions because the instructions were too confusing, and he got angry. And so he went ahead and he wrote the instructions so I could follow it. And here it is. Isn't it beautiful? I bought the case for it, but I built this. So, and it was with help. So the tribe has got full of wonderful people doing wonderful things from all walks of life. If I want to know how to clean something, I've got people in there that are just brilliant because their passion is cleaning and disinfecting and stuff. And then other people have, thoughts about how to better protect yourself from COVID and just all kinds of great stuff. We talk about everything, and it can be a lot more raw, because if we get angry because we have a private page. But today, that's where I was, had a great time. Everybody got one of these cool little Muppet bags for donating. I just thought it was really sweet that they donated, so I made sure everyone got one of these secret Muppet guys. And then the two people won the things that were up for the raffle. They helped me to raise $200 for my charity, and I wanted to thank them. And I hope you will consider being a part of Terri's Tribe. Go over there, check it out. There are other tiers as well, but not the best tier, but a very affordable tier is $5 a month. If you decide you try it for a month and it's not for you, you are not locked in for a year. So it's like the hokey pokey. You can put your right foot in, check it out, and if it doesn't work for you, you can take your right foot out. Okay. So honestly, I'm really saying it because I want your voice. If you want to contribute it, I want you to be a part of it. Okay. I would really, really appreciate that. Okay. So I realize that okay. Yeah, I flashed on something. Okay, and forgive me if I'm a little frazzled. And today will probably only go about an hour. So if your questions are left over from today, I will try to answer them later, or I may try to answer them on the next Ask Me Anything. Okay, but I am my dad just got out of the hospital, and I'm working to get the paperwork done. And as an artist, full disclosure, I'm not real good. I'm not real confident. People have said, what kind of scares you? It's not that it scares me. It's just I'm not as confident with paper. I can make things appear out of thin air, which is quite a magical thing to be able to do. I sculpt, I paint, I perform, I draw, everything. But when it comes to understanding paperwork, I think that's where God made me need, some help. And so there's a pile of it that concerns my family, and I'm just trying to take one day at a time. So I need to go and do that. Okay. So, what was I going to show you? Oh, no, I wasn't going to show you anything. I was going to let me start with the topic of the day. Forgive me. How many minutes? Oh, it's only 6 minutes. So I'm not that bad about starting with the topic of the day. So what's been coming to my attention is rumors, non-rumors, statements, non-statements. But actually, you remember that Disney announced their new annual pass program somewhere, I think it was in September and October. And there we were sitting as a great little group, hungrily awaiting to click to be a pass holder. Now, if that was not you, and I'm going to try and sit down because I'm feeling a little bit wobbly, and that's because I haven't had a lot of sleep, and I am trying to take care of myself, but it's been a challenge. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. So many of you did get passes, and row. Many of you did buy passes. I did, for one. And I remember saying with the passes, you gotta ask yourself what's important to you. And for me, it's parking. I live about an hour away from Disneyland, but because I'm an Imagineer, I'm going there often to see you guys, to see many of you who reach out and say, "Hey, Terry, I'm having lunch. Can we do that?" But what I'm learning, and this is my full disclosure about the passes, guys, as you try to think about you're going to renew, maybe you don't want to renew because the situation is that there is actually a lawsuit out there. That's not a rumor, of Dream Key pass holders like myself can't go whenever they want. They have to make an appointment. And what people are realizing is the appointments are not because of COVID-19. No. COVID-19 actually gave Disney a gift. Here you go, Disney, a way to regulate who comes into your park. The parks were filling up beyond capacity before the pandemic, and Disney screamed and cried about how are we going to, it's just, we hate this, and they didn't really like that pass holders could come, or they griped about pass holders not spending money. I don't know many pass holders who don't spend money when they're in the park. That's not a breed that I know about, but apparently Disney says you guys existed during the original annual pass holder thing. But when COVID happened, they had to do appointments. And when they saw appointments, they decided to keep appointments. Now, I don't know what their story is. I am not an official, I am an Imagineer, but I'm a come here, get away Imagineer, which means they hire me when they need me. And then they put me back in the box, I pop up, sculpt. Then they go, put me in the box, and they put me over. Okay. Kind of like this can here, Terry might be inside here, pops up, and then put me back, and good deal. Right. So, but even if I was an Imagineer, working as an Imagineer, Imagineers are not all privy to the thinkings of the inner workings of the Disney as a corporation ship. But I did know that they love this appointment thing because now they have an opportunity to regulate. Well, here's where the challenge lies, because Dream Key was supposed to be able to go whenever they wanted to. But you got to put that in quotes, hence the lawsuit, because that's not true. And many people are posting on YouTube, and please Google it, because there's some really, really good posts out there that try to tell you about their feelings and what they're thinking about. But I'm interested if you'll post in the comments what you're thinking and what you're feeling, because many aren't sure they're going to renew their pass, and Disney hasn't said that they're going to renew the passes. So I have to think about, if they change things, which they could, will I get a pass? Now, there's a couple of things that I've noticed the last couple of times I've gone to the park. I've noticed when I've gone inside Disneyland, like last time I went was for the birthday, to see a lot of people. And that's why I go, honestly, is to see you guys, all of you guys. But the reality of it is that the challenge is that the challenge with the passes is that it was the birthday. Okay, maybe it wasn't the 65th, which incidentally was the pandemic. So, I thought they would kind of celebrate the 65th on the 67th by making sure you at least had a pin to commemorate the event. But the reality is that they did nothing. They cut out a cardboard disc that you could stand with and take a picture. I mean, that is the extent of what they did. They had the characters dance for about 10 minutes saying happy birthday, whatever, but it wasn't a celebration like we're used to seeing for the birthday. Even on the off years, Disney was very diligent about at least having a commemorative pin. This time, no pin. This time, and all I could think of is Disney had 2 years to plan to do something, and you did nothing. Many people said that when they went to Walt Disney World, there were a few things that were cool, but they thought that there wasn't the big woohoo like we had here at Disneyland for our 50th. Our 50th anniversary was so incredible that I think it was what people were hoping to have happen. Basically, what I'm seeing right now is a lot of laziness. Some people said that the Star Wars May the 4th Be With You event, which you paid extra money for, was good. Many of you said not so good. If you liked posing with the characters, it was good. If you like swinging your lightsaber to the fireworks, it was good. But you have to ask yourself, what was it? A couple $100 to go to that Star Wars event? Couldn't you have stood between the California Adventure Park and Disneyland and waved your lightsaber to the fireworks? You may not have got as great a view, but did you save $200 or $150 or whatever it was? Many people said compared to what they paid, they didn't think it was that good. Post in the comments and let me know what you thought about the May the 4th event. If you disagree with me, just be kind. Don't attack me. Attack my opinion. All right? And that's true with anybody's opinion in these comments. Don't get personal. Just have a good debate. Right? But many people are disappointed, and I have to say the same thing. So as TERRI Hardin looks at whether or not she will get a new pass, which I have had since I was a baby, just about, I want to make sure it has parking. For me, parking is the number one thing. I got the highest pass because I like to have a place to park. A lot of the times I may not even go into the park, but I'll park in the structure because it's covered by my pass. So I really appreciate having parking. But Disney may decide when they renew the passes to pull parking. And if they do, I have a lot of thinking to do. One of the things that I noticed was absolutely a surprise to me and continues to be a surprise to me is that Downtown Disney does a better send-off to various events and things than the park does. The May the 4th Be With You event was so amazing. They had a sand sculpture over by the Star Wars sales port, and then they had a sculpture in Rice Krispie treats and fondant inside the Grand Californian, special cookies you could buy. Lego had a super califragilistic event where you could help build a giant Yoda and then stay around and win Lego things. And a lot of the Lego things that you had to answer a trivia question. Who doesn't want to answer a Star Wars trivia question, right? You answered a Star Wars trivia question and could win Lego prizes valued up to $300 or $400. Sometimes they were $100, sometimes they were 45, but they would go all the way up to $200 or $300. While I was there, they did that. What is it? That Tyrillian shuttle or whatever it is from Star Wars. That's like a $200 kit for you to build, and all you had to do was answer a trivia question. So I found that Downtown Disney is doing a better send off to these various events than the park. And here's the thing: you don't got to pay for it. You don't got to pay for it. So you got to start to think to yourself, if they start to take more away from your pass, is it worth it? And that's going to be a question I ask myself. Full disclosure, it's going to be something I got to ask myself. Now, some people say it's not going to be renewed. That's going to be very interesting. I don't know what that's going to look like. Some people say they will be renewed. If you're a corporation, any corporation, you have to plan for the winter years. And I know that Disney doesn't feel that they have winter years. They feel like they can just touch anything, and it's like King Midas. Everything for them turns to gold. People, you keep attending even though the prices go up. You keep going. You keep paying. You don't cross your arms and say stop. And the reason, if those of you who do say stop, others are right behind you, aren't they, to walk over you to pay the money. So Disney looks at it like, what are you talking about? We're doing great, don't they? Yes, they do. So I'm very sorry to hear, to see, to feel that. But the reality is that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about the passes. Another rumor is that a guy on TikTok, I heard this from my friend Evan Hunter. Evan said it could be a rumor because TikTok, just like any social media, there's truth and there's false. But on TikTok, he said he called and they said they were going to renew. I think what's got everybody concerned about these passes is by now, August, since it was like, what was it, September, October that we signed up originally, they're going to go away. So they usually kind of rev you up to let you know what they're going to do. But maybe because they know there are so many people that want the passes, or at least this is their belief, that they can wait until, a couple weeks ahead of time. Make it your mission to let us all know if you're someone who wants a pass, and let's keep each other in the know, shall we? I'll make the same promise. On the Patreon page, I've got some Disney real experts, some of them cast members, etc., but others that just make Disney their mission in life to know what's happening with them across the globe. And at Patreon, they always fill us in. And thank God, because I needed help. The tribe, Terry's tribe, helped me to just make an appointment. I really had a hard time with the app. I mean, cut me a break. I'm 65. But the reality was the app was very confusing. I got very lost and said, I'm having trouble making appointments, let alone getting so many appointments in to pay for the pass. I've been there about 4 or 5 times. I think I've paid for my pass. I may go one other time, but I don't need to go in the summertime because I know the summertime is so important to y'all. I'll just go to Downtown Disney and then book in the winter months when many of you don't travel as much. And, summer is very essential, which is why the pass below the Dream Key, a lot of it is blocked out because it's their prime time. But it's a shame. It's just a shame. And they're also upset because of the hard for them to make appointments. Disney is able to block the passes out and let people who are paying the actual tickets. This is the belief. Let me just say that's the belief, that they block out the annual pass holders so that they can get as many ticket sales as possible. And then they open it up for pass holders when they see certain days aren't filling the way they'd like to. This is the rumor. This is the belief. Let me just boop, 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 say that, okay? So that you know that I'm not speaking as an authority, but I have had a lot come across my desk because I am an Imagineer and a Disney artist. So I guess the bottom line is, what do you think? And then what will you do? And then consider that maybe we gather in Downtown Disney and see what's going on. Now, I did hear another rumor that Tortilla Joe's will not be returning after the remodel of Downtown Disney. And that breaks my heart because it's it's more affordable than many places down there if you want to have a meal. If you're okay with a pretzel, you can grab a pretzel. If you want to grab like a little, nummy, then there's a few of those little snacky things. But if you want to sit down to eat, like Earl of Sandwich, and I like to sit indoors. So Tortilla Joe's, I'm not usually a Mexican food person because the spices disagree with me, but Tortilla Joe's is kind of an American Mexican restaurant. So they spice it the way for us lightweights. So I'm going to miss them if they don't return. I really like them. It was a great place for the tribe to gather. And any of you, I would mention I was out there, and if you wanted to come and say hello, you could join us for a meal or a drink or something. Soda, alcoholic, not alcoholic, doesn't mean alcoholic. But anyway, so I'm going to miss that too. So let me go over to your comments and see what you say, and we'll get this party started. I did want to address one thing. Let me just grab it here, guys. Let me just grab it. Jeanette Kulik, sorry, asked me a question, and I don't know if Jeanette is here, but I'm going to answer it because she sent it to me early. She wanted to know about voice acting. She says that her friend has a marvelous deep voice, and like a baritone. And he's probably like the guy, is it Allstate? He has a very deep voice. That guy who walks around, good hands with Allstate. He might have that kind of a voice. And what advice? Education, home studio, demos, acting classes. He's also interested in how I got started in this field. Your advice would be well appreciated. When I was a little girl, I used to recite the jingles. So I would always do all kinds of voices, no matter what they had to do with, because it works. And as a puppeteer, you're always giving your characters voices. I had a character, Helping Hand, who made sure that nobody was distasteful in their comments. And then I had a dog, Ralph, who tended to swear. So he would start to swear. He'd say, by golly, I'm pleased as heck. And she would put her hand over his mouth. So I basically just started talking to myself. Many people probably thought I was crazy. Nowadays, you can put what appears to be an earbud in your ear, and they just think you're singing to the music. So it doesn't even have to be turned on. You're validated now. But back then we didn't have that. But to answer several of these questions, yes, I actually have been doing quite a few voiceover auditions. I am a union voiceover artist. That's the Screen Actors Guild, and in some cases could be AFTRA, but we are now SAG-AFTRA. So we are a unionized union. It used to be AFTRA for television, and then it used to be SAG for film. But as you know, now we're digital. We came together. We are now SAG-AFTRA. Being part of the union can be a plus and a minus. It can be a minus because I got my stripes in the union by being a world-class puppeteer. That's how I became a SAG member. But SAG covers, it's a big umbrella. So for me, if I do non-union, it's got to be like for a friend or for a family member or whatever, because I really should be getting union wages. Now, that being said, many of you out there that want to do voiceovers are non-union. And in this case, this might benefit you, okay? So first of all, I think you need to decide what you want to do. Do you want to do animation voices and silly voices like this? You make me very, very angry. What do you think? And do you want to do voiceover for, Similac, the best formula. For the best formula for your baby, use Similac. So I was the Similac voice for about 2 years. And then I was also Must See San Diego. And that's the voice they chose for San Diego tourism. These were a few years back. But what happens is when I'm doing a television show like Dinosaurs or Lost on Earth, which you may be lost because you have no idea what Lost on Earth is. But that's a Quincy Jones production in which I played Angela. And Angela would say, Brom, take a pill. She was a very sexy, low-voiced character. And I have, as you can tell, a husky voice. I'm not baritone, but I do have a tenor voice. So I cannot go way up here. I mean, I can, but it strains my voice.
So a lot of times if I'm going to do those kind of characters, I like to put a little breath in there because it protects my vocal cords, So that way it's much better, much better.
And so basically, to answer the question for any of you out there that want to do voiceovers, practice, 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 get a recorder and just practice. And then there are places, Google voice banks. Okay. There's a place I think that's called Voice Bank, but then there's Voice 123, all these different ones. I can't tell you which ones they are because I'm not on any of them at this time. But if you want to get into it, this is the perfect opportunity for you. You record a few voices, you upload to these special sites on the web, and people click on your voice and then reach out to you to say, hey, I have a this, I have a that. Will you do it? One of the things that is often non-union that I would love to do is to be the voices to say, for banking, press 1. For checking, press 2. For an assistant, press 0. And to drive yourself insane, press 10. And I love those voices. I don't love them for me automation, but I'd love to do one of those voices. If you want to be driven totally insane, press 88. But the thing is that those are more non-union and union. They might be changing, and I have to look into it more. But right now, because I've done dinosaurs, Lost on Earth, and several other things that I've done the voices of, people just listen to those voices and reach out to me. Okay, I do have a voice reel, a voiceover reel, and people used to do CDs. Do you guys know what CDs are? Google it. But people used to do voice CDs. Not anymore. Now you just do an MP3, and you'd be surprised because your smartphone has a microphone strong enough for you to do your demo reel off of. It really does. And if you want it to be extra crisp and clear, you can get a little microphone from, I think it's Shure, SUHR. I could be wrong. I think that's I wish I had thought to bring it out. I'd show it to you, which plugs into the port of your phone. It just plugs into this little port where I've got this in here, and you turn it towards you, and then while you get a recording thing, it can be memo or whatever, you do it, and then you make sure that you download it as what's called an MP3 or an audio file. That's M as in Mickey Mouse, P as in Paul, 3 as in the number 3. So that's great. Will acting classes work? They couldn't hurt, but honestly, voice acting classes can be fun. Don't pay a lot, because being non-union, if you're someone who needs to get your confidence in it, maybe you want to know a particular style. Like, for example, I would recommend, if you want to do book, the Audible books, you want to be a narrator for books, I think it's good to have training in that, because you can control your breath and stuff. And I believe in schooling. I believe in schooling, but if you don't have the money and it's holding you back, just do your voices, put them up, get copy that you like. You can read your comic book, or you can read, just write something, say a poem, Annabelle Lee, or something, whatever. Okay. And then do a couple of different voices while you're talking, and then put it up there and see what you get. When you start to earn money, you can go get training. Okay. Training is always good, because it helps make your ear better. And but I don't want it to be the thing that is the wall that keeps you from trying, because you just never know. All right. You just never know. If you're a podcaster or someone who likes to film things, you can do voices for your characters and create a little web series, okay? And do all the voices. And then in the credits, say who did the voices. My dear friend Jerry Connell has quite a channel, several channels, where a lot of people do the voices. In fact, they've invited me to do it, and I've just been so crazed that I haven't been able to come, and Jerry's been very patient with me. But I do want to do the voices. I'm very excited to do voices for him and with him, and I'm happy to say that I'm auditioning for quite a few now, and then whenever I have a puppet, I do a voice. Isn't that right? Yo, yo, yo. So I think that's good. Let me look again. Home studio. Yeah, a home studio is nice. Back from my day, I had to have a thing that looked like a refrigerator box with that egg carton kind of foam in there. And then we would close the refrigerator box. True story. Refrigerator box, and I'd record in there. We'd have it all set up with a little music stand and a microphone with that little disc in front to keep the peas from popping. But now, seriously, you can put a microphone here, make sure your room tone is clear, and then have a microphone that comes right to your mouth. Like I have here, you can put it here, a lot, that Yeti that I see a lot of podcasters do, crisp, clean sound. Okay. And the cleaner the sound, the better. And it makes you sound professional, but it can be simple things. You don't have to do an entire studio. The MP3 comes down to you onto your desktop, you retitle it and you post it, just like you do videos on YouTube or anything else you do. So I think I've answered all the questions. Let me just make sure that I did here. And the last thing is never give up. Never give up. Okay. I love doing voices. I have since I was a little kid, and I just do them for my puppets, and then people really liked them. I mentioned Lost on Earth, where I did Angela's voice. Well, one day, Quincy Jones and company asked me to do the voice of the parrot. Hello, what's up, what's up, what's happening? Okay, and a little show called Renegades saw Lost on Earth and asked if they would tell them they were looking for a particular voiceover artist, and they understood it, that the person they were looking for was TERRI HARDIN. And I immediately thought they wanted Angela's voice. But when I spoke with them, they wanted the parrot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They wanted the parrot. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I went to the Renegade. At that time, you went. We didn't do it at home. But I went and was with the directors and the producers, and I read probably that bird was in a lot of scenes for Renegade. And it's called Eye of the Beholder. You can actually Google it. Eye of the Beholder, the very, very vintage, another way of saying old, very, 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 very vintage Renegade, Eye of the Beholder. And you can hear, it's a cockatoo. And so I do the voice of the cockatoo in that. Yeah. But yeah, my voice pops up. And if you're on my YouTube channel right now, if you go to my playlist, older puppet stuff, the thing that got me into SAG was doing the voice of the talking Jello mold in 1973, I think, maybe 79. It's old, guys. And I did
the voice of the talking Jello mode. Isn't it silly not to use Philly?
Was the winning factor that got me my SAG card. So there you go. I hope that helps. And what a great question. Thank you very much. So let's go over to you and see what y'all have to say. Like I said, I may have to bow out in an hour. So let's get to you. Hi, Robin. Welcome. Deanne says, we have so much fun in Terry's tribe. Join us. You won't be disappointed. It is a great group of folks. And that's why I keep it at $5 a month. Now, there are other tiers you can do. The $10 tier kind of gets you a peek into the backstory of my life. I've done I've had a lot of experiences, and I'm really getting good at posting them. I try to post 1 or 2 a month. I haven't posted the first one. As I've said, I've been a little challenged, but I will. It's only the 5th? So I'm still in the first week. But and then the next one will be tutorials where I teach you to do a lot of the things that I do. The thing is that I have not populated that one as well as I'd like. So I really caution people for paying $25 a month unless they just want to support me in some way. I will let you know if you're part of the tribe, if you want to join the tutorial chair when it's better populated. I don't want you to, feel like you're not getting anything. And $5, I really over deliver, and I undersell and over deliver. Well, maybe some of you don't think I undersell, but I do. And I'd love for you to be a part of it. It's a really great community, and I'm not the one that's the rock star in it. You guys are. Last week, I hung on to them for dear life. They had my back because I was really in the soup trying to get everything done for my dad. And you guys know how that can be if you have parents. And I'm really grateful that I still have my parents, as many of them pointed out. And I am grateful, but I'm really, it's a struggle for me. And it's great to have people that have your back, and the tribe does. So thank you, Diane, for saying that. Bob Burdine talks about the Patreon page being so fun. Won 3 prizes. Yay. It's not, he's so cute. Bob Burdine and his wife Rose are a huge asset to the tribe. They are philanthropists. In other words, they help me to understand ways to help everyone be a part of giving to a charity. So that's one of the reasons that the raffle came up, because Bob and Rose said, they often did things like that to raise money for their favorite charity. And I thought it was really great. Many people on Patreon chimed in, and we had this really great raffle on our channel today to help with Terry's tribe. And I'm so grateful for all that generosity. Angie says, hey, Terry and friends, happy Friday. Super busy working, but we'll be listening to the whole broadcast. Hope your dad is getting better every day. Thank you, Angie. Angie always comes and visit me on Friday and listens to me like a radio show, Terry TV and radio show. She'll watch it later. She always does. And thank you, Angie. It's always a pleasure to have you with us. Good morning, says Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie is another person. You may have heard my rant on Monday as I started to complain about these government websites that I have to look into to take care of my dad. And I ranted because I really feel that a lot of these sites try to get you to give up so that they can keep your money. And my dad worked hard for his money. First black telephone man in Hollywood, California. And my mother worked all her life too. And you guys deserve your Medicare, Medi-Cal, and your unemployment as well. And I had many people say unemployment is just as difficult. They just make it harder and harder. And why? That's because they can keep your money. It's amazing how when this unemployment thing happened during the pandemic, that the people who benefited the most were in prison. $2.1 million stolen from the plan. And I just think that's ironic when I go in there and it takes me an entire day to fill out something that's supposed to take maybe an hour. So I ranted about that on Monday, and Dennis wrote to me after and told me about a plan that I think is going to be really great, Dennis. So thank you very much. I haven't called the people yet, but I have done a little research on it. It sounds good. And my dad is very excited about it. So I want to thank you, Dennis, for helping me. And that is because my dad is a veteran. And Dennis pointed out that veterans have certain entitlements. That's the wrong word. That is the wrong word. Entitlement. They are protecting our country, and I don't have one iota of strength that they do. So let me say that again. Benefits. They have benefits for serving their country, and my dad is one of those people. So Dennis pointed out one program that I had not heard about. So that's why I talk to you guys a little bit about things here. I really talk about it in the tribe really, really diligently, but I sometimes talk about it here because people like Dennis step up and help me out. So thank you, Dennis, for that. Jacob says, hello, Terry. Tuesday is my birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday early. Jacob, how about that? You're so excited. Me too. Me too. Are you willing to disclose how young you're going to be? Congratulations, Jacob. Happy birthday. Bob says, you are a star. You're handling everything very well. This is the kind of encouragement I get from the tribe, and I really appreciate it. Sometimes people need that word of encouragement because you get all wrapped up in your magma. One of the things that's really a challenge for me is I have not been able to sculpt, paint, draw, or anything because this is taking up so much of my life. And if you do something passionate for a living, you'll know that the deadlines don't wait, and you start to twitch a little bit because the passion helps you to stay balanced. My drawing, my painting, my sculpting keeps me or my wall level. And there have been times I wanted to run away to the circus. More importantly, run away to the coast. And good thing I live in California. It's a good thing I don't live in Utah or or Las Vegas or one of those, because that would be a long run. But for me, about 20 minutes from the coast, so I could go and see the ocean, and that balances me as well. So I just really need a time when I can just come down. When I can't get to the ocean, I have the tribe. The tribe always reminds me of things that I may have forgotten. They just really look out for each other, and me too. So if it's something you think you'd enjoy, patreon.com/Terri Hardin, or just go to patreon.com and put Terri Hardin in the search engine. You'll find me. Okay. All right. I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you. Patty Fox, good morning. Fantastic Friday. I love the FF. Fantastic Friday. There you go. Jeanette, did you get that answer? You were first, girlfriend. Thank you for sending it to me. It was a way to keep me focused. So Jeanette, I want to thank you for that. That was really, really good of you. I hope it helped you. Paul. Hello, Paul. How are you, Paul? Good morning. Terri, I'm thinking that they may suspend Magic Key sales and renewals until the lawsuit's settled. Paul, that is another thing Minnie spoke about. So is that possible? One of the things that I think Disney did do that was good was that they didn't penalize you for not being able to get an appointment in, was it later 2020? Let me think. 2020 and 2021, because I didn't use my pass whenever passes came up. And forgive me, my mind is not straight, Paul, but I didn't use my pass until January 3rd of this year. So my pass isn't expired until January 3rd of 2023. And I'm grateful for Disney for doing that, because it's not that I didn't want to go to Disneyland, but like I said before, my intention in going to Disneyland is to visit you guys. If you guys are going to be out there, like Evan Hunter, he had a birthday. I went and celebrated his birthday with him. The tribe meets there often. We met for the birthday. We met for Star Wars Day, a bunch of us. So I booked those dates. January 3rd was really special because tribe member Holly McKenzie and her dear husband were celebrating an anniversary, and they wanted me, or celebrating her birthday, my anniversary, her birthday. Holly was celebrating a birthday, and they commissioned a one-of-a-kind, a special sculpture for her. Actually took the art proof of the Cheshire Cat, now that I think of it. And he wanted to surprise her with it, her wonderful husband. And I got to spend the day with him, her, and their lovely children, as we did both. We were going to do both California Adventure Park and Disneyland, but we never made it to Disneyland. And that's just fine. Because like I said, I'm there to be with you guys. I get very excited to come and see you guys. Chalk is happening, Children's Hospital. That was the charity that the tribe helped me out with, donating to the cause. And we have an event happening on August 27th. And I don't know if the pass works for August 27th, because there's a special ticket you can get through raising funds for Children's Hospital. So I don't know if it's exclusive at Disneyland. I'm kind of thinking it's not, but you can get a special ticket awarded to you if you want to do it. And my thing is to see if it's transferable, because if it's transferable, I'm going to give it to someone in the tribe that can actually go that day that doesn't have a pass. So there's a lot of things that we do there in Terri's tribe, just because they're all so good for me. Their voices are so special to me, and it's very, very helpful. So one of the things is this lawsuit, and I think Paul is right. I think they may wait until the lawsuit is over. But what does that do for you guys who got the pass and it expires in, when does the first expiration time, Paul? I know you know this, buddy, because you're on top of it. You have your hand on the pulse. So I think it's good. When it comes back, it's likely going to have specific language saying that the park entry isn't guaranteed. Yeah, it's going to be, maybe they'll drop. Oops, I almost said a faux pas. Maybe they'll drop the price. If wishes were horses, maybe all men will ride, right, Paul? But we'll see. But for the people who's got only a month or two left in park stuff, I know I know that this pass is very important to you. It's important to me because I like to come and see you. But like I said, I could go to downtown Disney and meet you guys. The one thing, another thing that's good. So first thing I think is good with Disney, and if you disagree, please post in the comments. One thing I think it's good with Disney is that they let me start my year. The clock on my year started when I used it the first time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The second thing that happened is and now I lost my train of thought. Oh, the second thing that happened, I just had to come back to Middle Earth, Terry. The second thing that happened is that when you have an appointment, you're not going to be so full to capacity that if you leave Disneyland Park or California Adventure Park, you're not going to be shut out, which used to happen during the holidays because they filled it up so much that they closed the park. So if you went to downtown Disney to get a bite that might be a little affordable to you, more affordable to you, or have your lunch outside in the picnic area, you could get back in for sure. So the appointments actually hold your spot. So that is the other good thing that I can see. Are there any good things you might think of for the appointments? Not being crowded is not one of them. It's still crowded as all get out, isn't it? I mean, I get a little when it gets to be about the afternoon, I can't handle being there. I go out into, oddly enough, downtown Disney and go have my lunch or something. It's amazing. I never was a big downtown Disney aficionado, except for I love eating at Brennan's. And then my friend Robert Anderson, also of the tribe, we both are crazy for fish and sushi. He actually owns a sushi restaurant, and he's a restaurateur. So he talks to us about business sometimes in the tribe. He's a big help to me, and I want to actually do a journey to go up and see him so I can eat at his restaurant. Maybe we'll have a meet there, a tribe meet. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I would love to go up and eat sushi with him. When the tribe all gets together, though, that can be very pricey. And so one of the things I liked about what is it, Tortilla Joe's, is that it's got something for everyone, all price ranges. So you don't make someone feel bad as they, eat, drink water and eat the chips, because they can't afford anything else. You don't want anyone to feel left out. So that's what I like. But anyway, I agree with you, Paul. I've been passless for a couple of years now. No, I'm kidding. I can't afford to buy 4 top-end passes just to have the flexibility to go occasion. Never mind, make a reservation. Yeah, and Paul, here's the thing. Downtown Disney is really cool now. They are having gorgeous displays. They are having incredible events. They really have stepped it up, as Disney, I think, has dropped it down. So, reach out to us when you're going to be in the area and we'll have lunch. I'd love to have lunch with you and your family or something. And we'll just, tool around the downtown Disney. This is what the tribe has done the past couple of times. We had a blast. I mean, it was shortly after the Muppets Lego thing was released, these guys. And we went out during Star Wars, May the 4th, and everybody went crazy over these. And then we sat at a bench while the people who purchased these ripped them open to see who was inside. So I got to tell you, we had a lot of fun outside of Disneyland. And isn't that a shame? That's kind of a shame, but it's actually a plus. So you got to think about it, right, Paul? Yeah. You got to think about it. Bob says, I believe if you're paying premium price, Disney should allocate a certain percentage of admissions for Magic Key holders to avoid the reservation system. Just my opinion. Yeah, it should. I mean, it is a challenge. Okay, Bob. I know it's challenging for them, but the challenge is you guys know that I have integrity. I just, they're not really being transparent about when the pass holders can't get passes. Are they being blocked out and told they're not blocked out? You don't want to think of this. You don't want to think this way for someone like Disney, but I'm sure it's crossed your mind, and that's sad. Diane says I had a Diane says I had a pass until I retired. I think Disney should eliminate the pass because the park is too crowded. I lived down the street from Disney. I lived down the street in Garden Grove when it opened. So I can tell you that it's hard to go down to get down the streets now. And it wasn't when I was growing up. She's absolutely true. But Disney won't give up the money the passes generate. I agree that you want parking included with your pass. I love Disneyland. And, you know, maybe what they're going to do is a special pass where you get to park there. Maybe they let you park in the parking structure, but you don't go to Disneyland. I don't know. That seems kind of weird, but I got to be honest with you. I love having that, you know, one of the people on my tribe warned me that I can't park there before using my pass the first time, because then it counts me as that date. So instead, because I went in December to a special gathering and at Brennan's, and I ended up parking in downtown Disney, but I had never not parked in the parking structure. So my tribe had to tell me where Simba was. And when I saw Simba, I said, "Oh, I usually run through this." So hold on just a minute. I may have to go. Hi, this is Terry. Hi, John. You know what? You're going to have to wait till you get there because they didn't tell me. So I'm not home. I'm broadcasting right now. Nurse John, you're on the air. So how about that? But call me after, all right? And you can give me an update. I'm hoping that you have test results for my father. Yay! Come on, come on. Excellent. While you're there, can you call into the office just in case so you can explain to my dad since you're on the air right now? Okay, this is the amazing John. All right, John, take care. Okay, dear. Okay, bye-bye. This is my life, guys. That was my father's nurse. Turns out my dad has an infection. Not it's not super bad, but the reason it's not super bad is because we've got nurses like John. So John was just calling to tell me he's on a way to see my father, and his timing. I know he's saying my timing is terrible. But that's why the phone is on ring. So humblest apologies, but I have to be 24/7 attached to my phone to protect my dad. So thank you for your understanding. Anyway, as we said, we love Disneyland and the situation when we were younger with there. But I mean, downtown Disney has a lot to offer. And I was very excited when I went down there, but I was very sad because most of it's in downtown Disneyland. So what I've tended to do is go in the morning with my pass, or maybe I'll go late evening if I happen to be driving through Anaheim. Because here's the thing about owning a pass, guy, you can go anytime. You don't have to stay the whole day. If what Disney will do, I notice, is after a certain time, they'll open that actual day up again. And then you can book that day if you happen to be there. And if you live near Disneyland, like my friend Stephanie, it's a red little day for you, pop in, have a coffee, pop in, have a cocktail over at California Adventure, pop over, have a Coke, grab a Dole Whip. There's all kinds of things you can do to really make that pass pay for itself. But if you're someone coming in from out of town and you have a pass, this is the time you really got to think about it, because you've got to plan your whole schedule, don't you? So I don't know the answer to either to both, but I do say that should they renew them, there's going to be a lot of evaluating that's going to have to be on. And you can bet that the tribe will be discussing this at great length, because many of us are pass holders and many of us are wondering what will happen next. Yup, says Jeanette. Good. I'm glad. I hope that helps. If it doesn't, you know how to find me, right, Jeanette? As a patron, we have a few gatherings of the tribe getting bigger, so consequently harder to get in an area to accommodate, but we manage. Yeah, actually, it's true, but if we have to, maybe we drive off campus and go to a restaurant or something, or we all agree to meet at Stephanie's house. Isn't it nice how I draft Stephanie, and on the public channel, she may not even be listening. Boy, that was a sneaky thing, wasn't it? Shame on me. Evan, I just watched Dinosaurs, and knowing you were the arms of baby made Not the Mama so much funnier. What's your favorite story from that show. I have the first thing that came to mind, okay, is y'all know Brian Henson, right? And you guys are big Muppet fans. How'd you like to sit in a toilet with, not on a toilet? Puppeteers don't sit on anything. How would you like to sit in a toilet for several hours with Brian Henson? Yeah, that was Brian Henson, Terry Hardin in a commode. I have a picture somewhere where someone shot down the commode and there's Brian and I, looking up. Hi. But you may remember Dinosaur's potty training, and Baby is on the little commode saying he doesn't want to be potty trained. Well, at that point, Kevin Clash, who does Baby, had another engagement. And whenever he had an alternate engagement, he would come in later and dub the voice, but the puppeteering was done by Brian. So Brian was backup, and it was great to puppeteer with Brian. And Brian and I were in a toilet for most of that day shooting potty training. And so that one just that one just comes to mind. The other one is the one that I think it's Golden Child, where Baby eats too much sugar and gets a golden horn. Well, there's a sequence where Baby goes and he spins really fast. Well, I get motion sickness. And so Brian, bless his heart, had me wrap my arms around him and my legs around him on a spinning thing. So the only way I can explain this to you as to what this table looks like is, have you ever been to a Chinese food restaurant where it's a big table, you've had a big party, and they have that big Lazy Susan in the middle? Well, that big giant Lazy Susan is about the size of the Lazy Susan that I was on and Brian was on. So we had to be together really tight. And I was in Baby's arms, and I locked my legs around Brian's waist, and I leaned against his back, and I closed my eyes while performing because the spinning would have made me sick. So he suggested that I keep my eyes closed, and they spun us like the teacups, man. I'll never forget that. And then they spun more in post. So there are all kinds of ways that puppeteers help each other. Brian was always supportive as far as helping me when he was performing Baby Sinclair, and then to remind me when I hit Michael Eisner on the head with Baby Bottle for the 20th anniversary, I believe. I could be wrong, for Walt Disney World. I think it was 20th anniversary. I got to clock Michael Eisner with the Baby Bottle, and Brian, warned me, behave. So Brian, was always looking out for me. Thank you, Brian Henson. And the amazing Jim Henson. I loved doing dinosaurs, and I'm glad you liked it. This is a great quote. I love this quote. I'm going to put it on my website, Evan, because I think it's just really super sweet. Nate says, hello, Nate. Hi. I hope you got my message. I was worried because you are one of the people I've neglected, and I want to apologize for that. In North Carolina at the Biltmore. You're not feeling well. Oh, so you're resting. Oh, good. But I'm glad you're here so I can just publicly apologize for just being so wrapped up in my own affairs that I've neglected you, and it's not intentional. And I know you understand because you're a great guy, but I just want to say that. Jeanette says, fabulous. Thank you for saying that, my love. So sweet of you. And I see there's just a few others here, so I'm going to answer them, and then I'm going to jump off, okay? We're not yet at an hour, so, Good morning, says Joseph. I've been pass holder to Disneyland and WDW for many years. I have a bad feeling that they are trying to phase them out completely. I don't feel that Disney cares about their pass holders as much as they used to, and just seem to be focused on increasing their profits every quarter. Well, they don't need us anymore, Joseph. They really feel that they don't need us anymore. That's the truth of it, I think. I mean, they've got ticket holders that will fill it up. So they're kind of like, and the reason they're doing that is like car insurance, all right? Or insurance of any kind. It's FOMO, fear of missing out, okay? Or fear of loss. What's that one? FOL, fear of loss. See, I don't do those. What are they called? Anachronisms or whatever they're called. I don't know. I'm bad with words. Forgive me. But the point is that they don't, I think a lot of them are a little nervous about getting rid of pass holders, because if things should go cold, we are in a recession. We feel this recession strongly, and people must stop going to Disneyland. They want to be able to have the pass holders to lean on. That's why the pass holders were created in the first place years ago, because there used to be very cold months. Cold months used to be November. You used to be able to go on Thanksgiving and no one was in the park. It was a choice, great day. So November was a very cold month, and February was a pretty cold month. And now with spring break, April's not. But you used to have like March is cold, and they used to have very, very. They have had months that just didn't have anything happening, and so the pass holders were the bridge to bridge that earning gap. But now, just about every month is a month of Day of Disneyland, and so some feel they just don't need us anymore. So we're going to have to wait and see. Paul says the company is sure. Thank you. Terry, I've heard some of their ad copy. It's a great microphone. I have a little one for my phone. I should have brought it. And then this one here that you see here. Cut to here, and it's right there. And then you can see how beautiful it is outside my window. My bougainvillea is back. But these microphones, I love this line of microphones. I'm a big fan of this line of microphones. They are affordable and they really capture sound well. I'm thinking of asking my husband. We had these beautiful, beautiful microphones that were for my husband's business. You may be able to see it in the background, but the dragon is kind of blending in right there. He's blending in right there. And then there's a microphone that goes there. They started to create feedback, and we don't know why. So we were told by other people who are broadcasters, podcasters, and brilliant people of you out there, because if you see, my channel isn't necessarily one of the most followed, but you guys are all the best that follow it, in my opinion. That's all. It's my opinion. But I love these microphones. They just seem to be, forgive me, idiot proof. And I'm not saying that I'm an idiot. I'm just saying that this microphone is really good because it's simple for me to operate. And I'm a 5-year-old. Just think of me as a 5-year-old trying to broadcast to you. Everything is simple, simple, simple for me. My husband has made it incredibly simple for me. And that is the important thing. So let me see if I can. I never tried this before, so I'm going to try this real quick. Oh, it works. Oh my God, I just learned something new. So maybe you guys would like to see my studio. I haven't done this for a while. You notice that I can cut to here and say hi, and I can cut to here and show you this is my phone or my sculptures or whatever. And then on option 4, I just put my camera with my iPhone. And you see here, this is my, down here is called the ATEM Mini Pro, and it allows me to switch between cameras by pushing these buttons. Absolutely super, super simple for me. Okay. And then my cheerleaders, Marshmallow Man and Remy. And then over here, it shows just like a real, this is just a regular TV that we had for like, this is yard sale material, but we have a feed going in. So it switches between cameras. So it'll switch between this camera that you're looking at here. And then you see this is camera 1. And then you see my arm is going across. If I zoom in a little closer, my arm is going across camera 2, which is directly above me. And then this is camera 1 where I'm looking right at you right now. I'm not, but if I do this, I am. And then over here is my 3D where you can see here that my arm is crossing over because I'm actually holding my phone. And then this, if I scoot over a little bit, this is what the phone is seeing. Okay. So I've got the phone on camera and I'm just showing you, wow, that's a neat trick. Something I learned. And if I face you, that's how you see me. Okay. So we cut back. If I show you down here, we cut back to camera 1 and I'm back at camera 1. See? So the switcher, let's go back to my camera. The switcher has a lot of cool things that you can do. So if you've ever been dreaming of doing your own broadcast, this is 5-year-old friendly. Okay. Up here, you can see that I can put a picture in a picture. There it is. See it in the corner there? And that's just these here. And then I can turn it off and make myself, go away. And then there's all kinds of fade in. It's a really great, it's called the A10 Mini Pro. It really makes your life simple. And then if we pan up here above my two guys, here's my microphone that I'm talking about. If we go sideways to it, and then above is my camera. Now, if you look at this camera here, these are all super old cameras. These cameras here are my ancient cameras. Let me just show you the one across here. Uh-oh. It looks like the nurse is calling again to be on. Guys, let me say goodbye. Hold on. Let me put John on. Hi, hello.
Hi, Mr. A. Hi, good morning.
Hold on just a second, John. Hold on just a moment. Guys, let me say goodbye to you really quickly. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you Monday and we'll talk more, okay? If I missed your questions, I will come back and check them out later, okay? Just love you guys so much. And but I really got to take care of my dad now. Mwah. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. Bye for now, guys.